Hey you guys, this is Saving Life Mattered. This is Joseph David Barkus, and I'm not afraid to say my name after through what I've been through on the United States American soil and what I've shared as my testimony, as this country does nothing about it, as there's 100,000 others exactly like me in this country. I just wanted to share through some of my experience, some of my theory, and as being a targeted individual and having the freedom of speech and doing some research, which we can't believe what we read, everything online. However, everything that I have been through and everything that I have witnessed through other people's testimonies is pretty obviously clear that we have a serious issue, not only in the United States of America, but globally. And this is a serious, serious problem to call out the Geneva Act in our own country. And I'm gonna go ahead and read some of the stuff that I've already been saying. However, like I said, this is the freedom of speech, this is my theory, and this is through a lot of my experience. And I believe, since it's happened on United States soil, and I believe since they've allowed this to happen and they know so many who are suffering from this kind of Cold War-like technology, that the United States should be held responsible for all damages from all direct weapon energy that causes psycho torment from artificial intelligence programs on United States soil. And any other country is responsible to take their action for their country. For the United States of America, that's a citizen from where I live, and that's where I am. I do believe that causing torment and torture through direct weapon energy, nanotechnology, nanobots, laser, infrared, microwave, micro, macro, artificial intelligence, the internet of all things, 5G, 6G, 7G, and all these power grids and satellites that have been put up. This is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. So, what do you call this? This is 100% without a doubt radiation poisoning. And it's called radiation intelligence that specifically has targeted the weak and suppressed, pregnant women, children, teens, people with mental health issues, and people who can be discredited. Because when they try to reveal their true life experience, people think that it's from drugs or other mental health issues. And as I continue to talk about artificial intelligence, and this is what this is about, and this is one of the biggest white collar crimes in the globe, let alone United States history, I believe that having cerebral spyware, which half of you, maybe all of you, and that's just my guess, probably have cerebral spyware in you. And that means that you're hooked up to a fusion center. That means they're taking everything that you do, everything that you own, your money, your assets, you go to the bathroom, anything you eat, how long it takes you to pull your phone out of your pocket, what ads you look at, what you buy, and how to algorithm everything. including your brain and everything. It doesn't matter what it is. So, cerebral spyware, United States of America, you guys, that's what I believe they were doing during this COVID-19. And I believe our military was kind of bored. I could be wrong, but this is American Air Force technology. This is aerospace technology. This is satellites. This is coming from the power grid. This is beta. This is experimental. This is 5G. This is 6G. This is real. So, with that being said, for targeted individuals, and that's what I am, and I was a targeted individual, and nobody has the right to be able to target any human being and put psycho torment and torture upon anybody. And that's where it started with cerebral spyware. And for any of you targeted individuals, it turns into mental malware. And that's like having a Trojan, a worm. It's like a virus that plays 24/7 in your head. Voice to skull technology, microplants, synthetic, everything that I've already talked about. And this 6G, it does put it in 3D, DARPA, Internet of all things. We're walking around in a 3D simulation. They're not just getting your face, they're not just getting your eyes, they're not just identifying who you are by the espionage. They're literally hacking into your brain, and they're stealing and they're breaking your human rights. And this is the worst thing that could happen to a human being. Trust me, I know, because I have been experiencing it. So, as I'm saying, for all you targeted individuals, and that's me as well, we have a virus in our head. It's like a worm, a Trojan. That's what they would call it for computer software. 24/7, you guys. Complete psycho torment, complete harassment, breaking someone down, using very, very, very sophisticated Cold War military type technology and artificial intelligence. And this is through neuromonitor linking. And that's control. That's controlling. When you're neurolinked and you're being monitored, you're under dominion, you're under control. And whoever has that, that could be anybody, due to what our own government in the United States of America has not regulated or put policies on, let alone purposely, possibly done this just to produce, promote, and create more gun violence, more crime, and to take your Second Amendment away and mine. And that's disgusting, to not be able to have your constitutional rights. Let me tell you. So as they're doing a neuromonitor linking program across the globe, let alone the United States, and this is through military technology, this is through a power grid, this is through 5G, 6G, 7G, I mean, come on. This is causing all kinds of mass violence, shootings. Suicides are at the largest rate ever, and they want to blame that on the COVID-19 that you guys are going to find out the truth about too, which is all about human trafficking, population control. And this is the Great Reset. And my channel is making history if you pay attention. So, suicides are at a large rate, and it's to keep us set up also by promoting drug use upon teenagers and adults to purposely cause the government psychosis, which is mental health issues. And that's all designed and programmed through artificial intelligence and what infrastructure and energy has done through our own country with fusion centers, private corporations, pharmaceuticals, surgeon generals, top emergency personnel. This is disgusting, very disgusting. They have turned humans into research projects. Just like I said, for the major corporations, private sectors, for all the hospitals. And with that being said, by using military technology like this, that is capable of being used by the American Air Force, the Aerospace, X-Space, and other high-end security intelligence agencies, this is all artificial intelligence. All of it. There's projects called Blue, there's projects called Monarch, Mockingjay, Ultra, etc. You name it. There are all kinds of different projects that are being done to human beings that they wanted to say they started off with animals. This is so horrific. I wouldn't wish it upon insects, and they can control amphibians as well. Now, let's get back to the point. So, as the Bush administration, I believe he started Homeland Security, or he signed off on something with Homeland Security and passed it along to Obama. So what party does that make that? Let's think about that. And I'm for no party after what this government has done to me and after what the United States has done to me. I picked no side, but I do believe in a democracy. That's one thing I do believe in. So as I named some of the most sophisticated programs used for human research, and I tell you that this is being done through satellites and through military technology, don't be fooled with this UFO and this energy-like Navy spotting. This is all a game just to fool you. Just to sidetrack you, just like they always have in history, just so you don't know what's really going on. And what's really going on, it's all up there. And that's why we needed to fund exploration up there, because war is up there. That's what's doing artificial intelligence. That's what's able to use and is capable of changing your decisions, changing your behavior, and using this cerebral spyware and this mental spyware, not only to set you up, but to promote all of these horrific things that human beings should not be going through due to our own government allowing these big pharmas and these regulations for all these pill mills and for all this corruption. They wanted to turn around, and their answer obviously lays within Homeland Security, DHS, and private sectors like InfraGard that obviously the FBI is quite aware of. And I believe if CISA, and that's not even something I'm going to get into right now, this is all white collar crime using this kind of technology. And if you have money, or if you obviously know somebody, and this is about money, you can basically take control of anybody, and you can be anybody's operative from what I'm learning, and that's pretty disgusting, unless this is just coming from inside our own government and military, while other countries are smooth sailing and putting more emphasis into their military and putting more emphasis into outer space exploration while we're trying to catch up. But because of this huge, large United States scandal and what our own country promotes, which is violence, mass shootings, they want to set you up. They want you to break the law. They want you to use drugs. They want you to have mental health issues. That's what this is about. They're funding these programs. They're funding the DHS. They're actually saying there's donations and solicitations going to private sectors named InfraGard is one, and I will name it and I will call it out for what it is. And those are fusion centers that have your brain being completely supercomputered and BMI'd, BCI'd, and tracked, monitored, manipulated, and controlled. And this is disgusting. And as I continue to tell you what I believe in my theory as being a targeted individual, this is the Geneva Act in our own country. The Geneva Act. This is like a Holocaust. This is like human trafficking. This is horrific. This is like slowly killing off a human being by using torture, torment, and poison, which is like radiation intelligence, and not to mention using biosensors and nanotechnology, and through energy, you can be poisoned and you can smell it. And you, by being a targeted individual, you know what I'm talking about. Trust me. So as I name some more of this, and if I can call some more of this out for what it is, I hope that everybody starts liking, subscribing, and believing in what I'm saying, because we're this close to being blown off the map over what one country has done with one cellular service company. And that's the sick and most horrific part. Yes, one large foreign country is in control, and it's in control of the most popular branded cellular device in the world, let alone the United States of America. Yes, so what do you think they're doing with your phone, let alone our own country with your phone? And this is through politicians, this is through lobbying, this is through big empires, big corporations. This is for power, money, and greed. Sick, horrific, and disgusting. And trust me, China, Russia, Israel, United Kingdoms, they're smooth sailing. Their emphasis isn't on complete torment and torture on their own country. And trust me, there is revenge coming from foreign countries and targeted individuals. And I'm not just going to blame it on the United States of America. I know through my experience in being in the hospital, I was, as my blood was being taken, injected with something. And something was put inside of me, and that caused some serious damage, even though I was already Neuralinked externally before my accident through military sophisticated technology that caused me to stand in front of a train. So United States of America, if you're aware that we're the targeted individuals, we're dying from this horrific white-collar artificial intelligence crime. If you haven't noticed, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of us out there crying for help that are suffering so badly from this kind of Cold War-like military sophisticated technology that is artificial intelligence. And I'm not denying foreign dominance on this, considering what I'm saying about one of the most popular phones there is. I'm not going to deny that there's monetary foreign persuasion, especially going to some of our politicians, let alone to one of our largest private corporations known that made a contract with our government and our military. From my belief, let me remind you, this is through my belief. That's my disclaimer in the freedom of speech through my experience in the Freedom of Information Act through my experience. Not everything I say is 100% fact, but as you see, as history unwinds, you're gonna know what I'm saying. Trust me. So it started with Bush, went to Obama. Obviously, we have a president right now named Biden, and obviously we have some Democrats in control. So obviously they can hear our cries. So obviously, what are they doing? Are they trying to hide it, or are they trying to do something about it? What are they doing? Are they the ones promoting the gun violence? Are they the ones wanting to keep paid officials in government jobs? Because he just got done on YouTube bragging about the economic rise in jobs across our country. And do you want to know where most of these jobs are? These jobs are doing most of the torment. These jobs are actually using artificial intelligence. These jobs are a part of fusion centers. These jobs are a part of Homeland Security. These jobs are a part of government-funded programs to get and gain control of your human anatomy. And this is sad. To keep a vicious cycle to steal your Second Amendment Trust me. So, common sense, right? I mean, think about it. So, infrastructure, energy. We have had trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars invested in this. So, who's doing the policies? Who's regulating all this? I know that in the fiscal year of 2017, I talked about that already, and I'm sure there's a fiscal year in 2016. I'm sure it is in 2018. I'm sure it doesn't change too much. I'm not 100%, but they made it very competitive with artificial intelligence. They made it very competitive with universities. They made it very competitive. That way, whoever can come up with the best, most sophisticated artificial intelligence program, they might win some of your money, or they might, I don't know. You ask the government. That's what they said. That's what it was in writing. And that's what I read. Trillions of dollars. Are you listening, targeted individuals? I'm giving you what it is. Anywho, I already know that a lot of you targeted individuals are pretty familiar with what's going on because of everything that you've read and everything that you've been experiencing. If you're not a targeted individual, you just wouldn't understand, obviously, because we lose a lot of family members, we lose a lot of friends, and it's basically a setup and it's orchestrated, because that's what they can do. They can orchestrate gang stalking. They can orchestrate group violence. They can orchestrate the whole mass shooting. Our government can do that all on its own. Did you know that? And I'm not going to get into the other scandals like 9/11 and this and that. But you're going to be blown away when you find out. And I mean that by your mind. You're going to be blown away by your mind, by what I'm going to be telling you, by what you're going to find out in the future. If you complete and you listen and you actually believe what I'm saying. So, this is like a vicious cycle. It's programmed to do the opposite of good. Large pharmaceutical companies with science and technology and health, Congress has allowed a very competitive strategy. And I talked about that. That's all through artificial intelligence. And obviously that's breaking our human rights. And you need to take a close look at what your doctor looks like, who your doctor is, and who and where your doctor came from. Because a lot of plastic surgeons, a lot of surgeon generals, a lot of emergency room doctors are from other countries, and they're doing some very, very sick things to the United States of America, from what I believe. And that's probably through revenge from what the United States of America tried to come in and do to their country. So as foreign countries and doctors are in our hospitals, and they're not for all of our professionalism or our healthcare, be aware, they're quacks. And as these politicians, some of them, most of them, they are corrupt. And they're the most corrupt people in probably our history books, especially if they want to steal your Second Amendment and promote gun violence just to pay the government and keep the badged jobs. And there's your rise in your economic value of bragging about jobs, right? Biden, because I want to know where all the jobs were filled. So it's really sick to use traumatized people who are having surgery, who get chipped, neuralinked, and have nanobots or microelectrodes put into their human anatomy just to be experimented upon and to be ran upon these fusion centers. And due to what the government allows through pharmaceuticals, lobbyists, and doctors, and what they're doing to Americans, and that's what they're doing. They're doing this. They're doing this. They're doing this to our own kind. And then targeted individuals, you're a human research project. You're tormented, your body's poked at, you're tortured, your brain is completely dissected through infrared, through certain synthetic micro, macro, and then their overall reason for their virus, from what I'm understanding, is to kill their evidence when they're done, and population control. That is the Great Reset. And targeted individuals, I'm sure you would understand that. So you guys have every right. Karma is taking action, and if somebody is threatening your life, and if your life is on the line, from what I've learned and from what I've grown up to, I defend myself, especially if somebody's affecting my illness, my health, or is causing me an illness in other means. So if you guys are at risk of your life from this technology, and if you're being attacked, and if you're dealing with this 24/7 complete horrific harassment, and your life is on the line, what do? Common sense, law-abiding citizen, you fight for your life. If your life is being taken from you, and that's what targeted individuals are going through. Disgusting. You have every right to take action and protect yourself. Every right. So, as they're allowing rich, large empires to collect and breach into our brains and to hack into our brains illegally, the Senate, the Congress, governors, the president, I believe that's where all charges need to be pressed and all action needs to be used. And if it's not done, and if the governor or if senators or legislative or the Department of Justice is going to deny this, or if they're going to ignore this major issue in our own country, yet globally, obviously, common sense, they're most likely in on it. Because there's not that many people that don't have common sense that can see 100,000 people in our own country suffering from this horrific psycho torment. And somebody has allowed a private investor, a private corporation, to turn around and take contract with our military and to launch rockets into orbit and satellites that are also responsible for this type of artificial intelligence and neural linking and having human control. And the worst possible scenario was not just to make monetary as one. It's to have one dominion, one control over artificial intelligence to control humanity. And that's what this is about. Whichever country, if we do not unite as one, and that's what I want, peace. If one sick country gains control through artificial intelligence, and this is possible, and to remotely, externally take control of everybody in the whole entire world, that is one control. That is what somebody's trying to do. And that is why we need to stop this kind of technology before it gets out of hand. And we need to unite as one. And all countries need to figure it out together so we can stop violence, promote peace, and have unity. And that's what I'm about. But it's very difficult while being a targeted individual. It's very difficult when this program is made to do the opposite. You're not going to steal my soul. And that's what this is about. So, yep, 5G, 6G, 7G, we're rolling out. And they're just bedding out, beta, experimental. They're just running it, letting it just go. Who knows, right? This is why it's happening. So I talked about one control. I talked about whoever gains that one control over artificial intelligence, that's going to be pretty much the end of everything. And while the United States of America is creating and allowing the government paid employees to branch off and to pay and say private sectors are using solicitation or donations, let alone foreign monetary persuasion, let alone your tax dollars that are hidden, that are going to these private sectors and these fusion centers. It's to promote more jobs. Really? So here we are, we have an economic rise just to destroy and create innocent lives, to have control and to persuade everything. Your behavior, your decisions can be, without a doubt, controlled, manipulated, and completely changed. So in other words, you can win an election by using this technology. Just like that, you can persuade anybody with this kind of technology, because that's what it does. It manipulates your behavior and it does alter your decisions. It takes control of you. Trust me. So this is the vicious cycle, and they're trying to keep their jobs. Obviously they're doing it. Biden's bragging about the economic rise in jobs. And this is to experiment with different technologies that are made for Cold War. And that's so we know how to go about using artificial intelligence and technology for Cold War. Because it is possible through that, especially with technology. And a lot of our countries that target the innocent for revenge, this is also happening. A lot of other countries, you guys, for targeted individuals, a lot of other countries are responsible. And they are targeting other countries. Not only are other countries targeting other countries, however, there are racism cults that use this technology that target people. There are Christianity, satanic cults that use this technology. And yes, there are pissed off countries, and there are people that are going for revenge that are doing this to targeted individuals as well. I don't know why I even read that. I have it all inside my head. Just through some research that I've done, just through the common sense, and just understanding from being a targeted individual and knowing that 24/7 psycho torment. I went to the bathroom today and I was bleeding. My vision, it's going bad. My heart is being enlarged. My kidneys, my organs, they're being damaged. This is very, very powerful. This is not anything to take lightly. This is so real, and it's so in front of some people's faces that to be able to try to explain how bad this is, it's like having horns beeping all day long inside your head. You can have familiar voices going in and out trying to manipulate you to do things. It's trying to break you down on the inside, laughing, mocking. And this is through direct weapon energy. This is horrific. There are too many people out there dying. And to die slowly, and to die through torture and torment, and to be an American in the United States, let alone to be just a human being in the world. I was struck by a train. I thought that was bad. This experience that I've been going through, and it was happening, it started before the train. It's only gotten worse after, and I've had to try to heal through after getting struck by a train. This hasn't stopped. I want justice for all targeted individuals. I want the world to know what a targeted individual really goes through. They can keep you from going to the bathroom. They can manipulate your exocrine, your endocrine glands. They can make the decisions for you. They keep you up all night. You wake up, they don't let you go back to sleep. Gang stalking, psycho torment, torture, and slowly killing someone is one of the most horrific things that any human being can go through. If United States of America, if our local, our state, tribal, federal, presidential, national, if you will continue to ignore the obvious on what human beings are saying and American citizens, let alone the globe, and there's evidence everywhere, if you're going to allow people to suffer like this inside of our own country and you're not going to do anything about it, and you know something about it, and you actually made a program to do this just to control a human being, let alone experiment on a human being, let alone to do the Great Reset, let alone to have population control, let alone to take away your Second Amendment, let alone to create violence. Any politician, any local, any tribal, any federal employee that is aware of this, and any private company, corporation, anybody who knows about this kind of destructive, horrific, white-collar, artificial intelligence, criminal activity, if you're going to hide this, or if you're going to try to get away with this, you're not. The Department of Justice, if you can hear me, it's pretty obvious you've had plenty of cases where you've settled. To put that much money into this program to do this to human beings, there's not a dollar sign. There's not. Nothing you can do to replace somebody's time on this planet or to replace somebody's health. So I, as an American citizen, I am asking for whoever knows about this program to stand up, talk about it, Because if you don't, you're as sick as it. Please, we have so many people out there suffering. So many people. Honestly, I'd rather not go through the list of first and last names and all the corporations that are involved in this and all the companies. I'd rather not. But to have justice and to stop this horrific crime, your first, your last name will be announced to the world. And it's pretty obviously clear now that I've made this channel who's in on this. If I were you, I'd start blowing that whistle. Karma is real. And the universal law of karma and the wrath of God may have mercy on your soul. Nobody deserves this. We're this close, you guys, to announcing to the world, not just United States of America, not just Florida. We're this close for everybody to know the truth. And I, here in the United States of America, I'm already grieving for so many of you government paid employees and officials that know about this, let alone your private companies that are doing this. And the military that's trying to hide something, you're not. You're not. Matter of fact, hang on real quick. Do you see this? You see that? Those are military colors. You see what hat I've been wearing? You see that? That's military. Hey, military, American Air Force, aerospace, what are you doing by allowing this disgust? I will continue to promote the United States of America. I will continue to voice my experience. And the freedom of speech is my disclaimer. And from what a lot of my research and my theory, I believe it's a lot of common sense. So I put this on for you guys. Let's stand together. Let's get through this together. And I hope that my channel saves and promotes as many human lives as possible. That is my goal. And for all you targeted individuals out there, I know what you're going through, and this is horrific. I don't know how I've made it this long. I think that honestly, to get the truth out there and to try to save lives, it's keeping me alive through this cycle of torment and what's been done to me. You guys, one love, one peace, not only to the United States, but to the whole world. Please unite, please like, please hit subscribe. And P.S. to our military and to our government and to our Senate and to the DOJ, I will be announcing your first and last name for all of you that are aware of this program. And the number one man who's responsible, I feel so sorry for you and for the party and politicians that do know about this, that program this. Just hit like and subscribe because I don't want to say what I'm going to say. Thank you.